All right, good evening. Hope your weekend has treated you well. Sunday evening, the weekend is over with already. Can you believe that? Let me shut this thing down right here. There we go, because we just started. We're not starting soon. We're there. Who we got here? Hey, Sean, how you doing there, brother? Good evening. Thanks for joining me tonight. It's a new month. Golly, March already. Third month, 2020, March 1st. So, to stay with what I said last month, we are going to go over the law enforcement officers killed in line of duty month of February. Not something we like to do, but it's something that I want to do to bring it to the forefront. You never hear about them. You never hear when we lose one of our law enforcement officers. It's pretty quiet. You might see a headline or something, and then um, it's gone, and you don't hear anything about it. Not like these celebrities and stuff where you hear about it and hear about it and hear about it, and on and on and on. So anyway, so for the month of February, we lost 8 law enforcement officers. Uh, any is too many. We got to have those folks. We've got to have law and order in this country, in your cities, in your towns. Um, we need our military. We need our law enforcement officers. We really do. We need to have law and order. It would be total chaotic without them. We had 8 in February. A lot better than the 13 in January, but still 8 too many for sure. So we're going to go over those real quick and highlight each one and talk about it for just a short amount of time. Let me get down here to February. There we go. Um, the web page, it doesn't break it down like I would like to see it broke down. And I did some more searching tonight trying to find a better web page that I liked better, and I couldn't find one. This is the only one. The reference to it is in the. Let's do that. There we go. The reference to it is in the body of the post. So if you want to pull it up and read along with me, or if you want to read them later or whatever, the link is there. All right. Let me get this pulled up here and we will go over these real quick for the show tonight. That will be the show tonight. All right, I am going to put that down there like that. So, to start off February, we are going to start with Deputy Sheriff Richard Edward Whitten. Deputy Sheriff Richard Edward Whitten. End of watch Monday, February 3rd, 2020. 52 years of age. Was on duty with the Liberty County Sheriff's Office in Texas for 4 years. Incident date was Wednesday, May 29th, 2019. Weapon was a handgun. The offender committed suicide. So let's talk about this one because it happened in May of 2019 and he passed away February 3rd of 2020. Most of these I have not gone through. I did go through this one, and it's a pretty crappy story. So, Deputy Sheriff Richard Whitten succumbed to the complications of a gunshot wound sustained on May 29th, 2019, while responding to a shots fired call in Cleveland. He was en route to a training class and had just driven past the scene of a double murder when the shooting was dispatched over the radio. As he responded back to the scene and encountered the suspect fleeing in a vehicle, Deputy Witten and a member of the Cleveland Independent School District Police Department pursued the subject onto County Road 2243, where the man immediately pulled into the parking lot of a veterinary office. As Deputy Witten challenged the subject, the man produced a handgun and opened fire, striking him in the neck and paralyzing him. The other officer returned fire as the subject fled. The man later committed suicide after being located by other officers. Deputy Witten was flown to Memorial Hospital in Houston in critical condition on February 3rd, 2020. He suffered a complication while undergoing physical therapy and passed away. Deputy Witten had served with the Liberty County Sheriff's Office for 4 years. Deputy Sheriff Richard Edward Witten. Police Officer Nick O'Rear, Kimberly Police Department, Alabama, end of watch Wednesday, February 5th, 2020. 33 years of age, tour duty 2 years. Another gunfire incident on February 4th, 2020. The offender was charged with capital murder. Nick O'Rear. Police officer Nick O'Rear was shot and killed during a vehicle pursuit on I-65 near Old U.S. Highway 31 at about 10 p.m. An officer with the Warrior Police Department had initiated the pursuit. When he attempted to conduct a traffic stop, Officer O'Rear responded to assist in the pursuit when the man opened fire, striking him. Officer O'Rear's vehicle then crashed nearby. He was transported to UAB Hospital where he succumbed to his wounds at 1:15 a.m. The driver fled into Jefferson County where he was taken into custody and subsequently charged with capital murder. Officer O'Rear had served with the Kimberly Police Department for 1 year and had previously served with the Asheville Police Department. He is survived by his 2 children and a 3rd child on the way. 33 years old, 2 years. Officer Nick O'Rear. Trooper Joseph John Bullock, Florida Highway Patrol, end of watch Wednesday, February 5th, 2020. 42 years of age, 19 years on the job. Is a military veteran. Gunfire. The offender was shot and killed, and the gun used when he was shot was a handgun. Trooper Joseph Bullock was shot and killed while at approximately 10:15 while assisting a disabled vehicle on I-95 just north of the interstate rest area in Martin County. He stopped to assist a motorist whose vehicle had become stuck on a swale. Not sure what that is. He had positioned his patrol car behind the vehicle and completed paperwork for approximately 1 hour while the motorist waited for a tow truck to remove the vehicle. During this time, Trooper Bullock had several normal interactions with the motorist. Once the tow truck driver arrived, the man became upset with the cost of having the vehicle towed. He calmly walked back to Trooper Bullock's vehicle and without warning drew a handgun and fatally shot him in the head. The man then attempted to shoot the tow truck driver, but his gun jammed, allowing the tow truck driver to run to safety. The tow truck driver was able to get the attention of an off-duty Riviera Beach detective who was driving in to work. The detective fatally shot the subject after the man confronted him and pointed the gun at him. Trooper Bullock was a U.S. Air Force veteran and had served with the Florida Highway Patrol for 19 years. He is survived by his parents and 2 sisters. 42 years old, 19-year veteran, as well as an Air Force veteran, shot and killed while trying to help somebody. Police Officer Kenneth Reed Lester, Richmond Police Department, Indiana, end of watch Monday, February 10th, 2020. 62 years old, 16 years on the job. Automobile crash Friday, February 17th, 1995. Police Officer Kenneth Lester succumbed to injuries sustained in an automobile crash on February 17, 1995 while responding to an alarm call. February 10th, 2020. Okay, I had to look and see what date he actually passed away. He was responding to a call with his lights activated but no siren as he approached the intersection of South 8th and South 8th Street. A tractor trailer that was driving in the left lane moved to the right lane. As Officer Lester overtook the tractor trailer, it suddenly attempted to make a left turn in front of him. His patrol car became stuck underneath the trailer, causing him to suffer debilitating head and internal injuries. Officer Lester required around the clock care for the next 25 years. He passed on away from complications of the original injuries on February 10th, 2020. Officer Lester had served with the Richmond Police Department for 16 years at the time of his crash, survived by his wife and 2 children and 2 sisters. 62 years old, 16 years on the job. Female, Deputy Sheriff Donna Richardson Below, DeSoto Parish Sheriff's Office, Louisiana, end of watch Wednesday, February 12th, 2020. 43 years old, unknown how long she was on the job. Cause was an automobile crash. Man, we've got some crashes going on. Deputy Sheriff Donna Richardson Below was killed in a vehicle crash on US 84 near Louisiana 3248 shortly before 8 a.m. An oncoming vehicle crossed the center line and struck her patrol car head-on, causing her to suffer fatal injuries. Deputy Richardson Below had served with the DeSoto Parish Sheriff's Office for 13 months and had previously served as a probation officer with the Louisiana Department of Corrections. She was a probation officer and then went into the sheriff's office for 13 months and had somebody come in her lane and hit her head on. Another female, Lieutenant Shirley Lanning, Canadian County Sheriff's Office, Oklahoma, end of watch February 14th, 2020. 58 years old, 30 years on the job. Automobile crash. My gosh, we got automobile crashes in February. It's crazy. Lieutenant Shirley Lanning was killed in an automobile crash on the Northwest Expressway just west of the John Kilpatrick Turnpike. Her patrol car crossed the center line and collided head-on with an oncoming vehicle. The occupants of the other vehicle suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Lieutenant Lanning had served in law enforcement for 30 years. She had previously served with the Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office and the University of Central Oklahoma Police Department. She is survived by her husband, stepson, parents, and siblings. 58 years old, 30 years on the job. Automobile crash. Officer David Kellywood, White Mountain Apache Tribal Police Department, Tribal Police. End of watch Monday, February 17th, 2020. 26 years old, 9 months. New officer, 26 years old, 9 months on the job. Gunfire, location Arizona, unknown type of gun. The offender was shot and killed. Officer David Kellywood was shot and killed after responding to reports of shots being fired near the Honda Casino in Pine Top, Arizona, shortly before 1 a.m. Officer Kellywood was the first officer to arrive on scene and encountered the subject, who immediately attacked him. During the ensuing struggle, the man fatally shot Officer Kellywood. Another officer who arrived on scene shot and killed the subject. Officer Kellywood had served with the White Mountain Apache Tribal Police Department for 9 months and had previously served with the Navajo County Sheriff's Office. He is survived by his wife and 2 children. 26 years old. Very young. Corporal Andrew Gillette, Sumter County Sheriff's Office, South Carolina, end of watch Tuesday, February 25th, 2020. 37 years old, 7 years on the job, military vet. Cause of his incident was gunfire, unknown type, shot and killed the offender. Andrew Gillette. Corporal Andrew Gillette was shot and killed while he and another deputies attempted to serve a detention order and eviction notice at a home at 3120 Thomas Sumter Highway at 11:30 a.m. The subject named on the orders opened fire, striking Corporal Gillette in the chest. Other deputies who were on the scene returned fire and killed the subject. Corporal Gillette was a U.S. Air Force veteran. He served with the Sumter County Sheriff's Office for 7 years and was assigned to the Civil Process Division. He is survived by his wife and 11-year-old son. 37 years old, 7 years on the job, serving civil papers, an eviction notice, detention order, and eviction notice. Now, I'm telling you, my days with the sheriff's office, some of the unruliest people that I encountered was during civil process. I really disliked that part of the job of having to serve eviction notices and court papers and divorce notices and stuff like that. That's a big part of working for the sheriff, is doing the civil process. Like I said, that's a big part of it. Delivering papers and stuff, and you are the bearer of bad news. It's a little different than making an arrest, I think, but from the time that I was involved and the things that I saw, it is a pretty dangerous part of the job. We had another canine in February 13th, canine Hondo. Harriman Police Department, Utah. Harriman, Utah. End of watch, Thursday, February 13th, 2020. Belgian Malinois. Male, 7 years old, 4 years and 4 months on the police department. Yeah, Harriman City. He was shot with a handgun, and the offender was shot and killed. So, Canine Hondo was shot and killed. While attempting an apprehension of a wanted subject in the area of 445 East, 300 South in downtown Salt Lake City shortly before midnight. Canine Hondo and his handler were assisting the U.S. Marshals Violent Fugitive Apprehension Strike Team serve the warrant. The wanted parolee exited an apartment and pulled out a handgun as he fled on foot. As Canine Hondo attempted an apprehension, he was shot as task officers fired at the subject. The wanted subject was also killed. Canine Hondo had served in law enforcement for over 4 years. 4 years, 4 months. Serving a warrant downtown Salt Lake City. Another fun time was serving warrants. People don't want to go to jail. They don't want the freedom taken away. They don't think about that when they commit the crimes that they committed to get the warrant issued. But I'll tell you what, a lot of times they do not want that thing served. Kind of like serving civil papers, but you're going to take them, put them in jail. So my heart goes out to all of the officers that lost their lives in the month of February, January as well, this year, anytime, every year. This is just something that we've decided to pick up this year and start doing. So it's something that we'll do at the end of every month, beginning of every month for the previous month, whatever. But hope you guys had a good weekend, and keep these guys and their families and whatnot in your thoughts and prayers. They're out there risking their lives so that you can be safe at night and during the day or whatever. You're home sleeping. They're out patrolling the alleys and the highways and stuff. A lot of people have a lot of heartburn with the police officers, cops, whatever you want to call them. And it's the first number you call when you're in trouble, 911, and have an officer respond and take care of your issues, right? So it's just, we gotta have them. We gotta have them. They do a good job. They're out there. It's like the military officers. They sign a blank check, and when they go out and there's a bad situation and you're there, they're going to put themselves between the bad situation and you and do their job. So keep that in mind when you're out there effing them to death and whatnot. Keep it in mind that they don't know you. No matter how many times you flip them the bird, if duty calls for them to step between you and some bad stuff, they're gonna do it. So that's what they do. Have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's pretty much over, I know. Let me pull this up here. See what I can find here. It's kind of funny because I type in my helmet talk in Google search, and right under the videos, guess what pops up? myhelmettalk.com. We're in the Google searches on the top of the list. I kind of enjoy that. Our SEO is working. All right, folks. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's about over with. Have a good Monday. Keep these folks in your thoughts and prayers. Peace. God bless America. God bless you. God bless our law enforcement officers, our first responders, our military personnel. Please keep them safe.